Alrighty. Hey, my name's Lyle. Jacob's probably already introduced me to you guys, and I love your youth guy. He's a great friend. Had the joy of working with him for about 4 years at our church, and he is greatly missed. And I'm sure you guys are loving him like crazy, just like we did. And this is kind of weird. I've never done something like this, so I'm not sure how this is going to work. But we'll do our best here. And so, kind of to set this up, so I will have some discussion questions that I'd like for you guys to talk about. So you have to push kind of pause on this little video so you can talk a little bit about the questions that I'll have for you. But I'll tell you when to push pause and all that kind of good stuff. So this is what I understand. You guys are a team of people that are kind of leading in some kind of aspect in the student ministry there, or potential leaders in the student ministry, and Jacob's spending some time in the mornings kind of pouring into you guys. And I think you guys have been talking about the issue of gifting, and maybe you guys have already taken a gift inventory, or if you haven't, you are soon. And so my role and my responsibility, I think, is I'm here to kind of talk a little bit about just learning how to be yourself, learning how to get to a place where you are comfortable in your own skin, and learning how to get to a place where the opinions of other people do not rock your world and destroy you, or learning how to get to a place where you're not always wanting someone else's gift and you get content with how God's created and put you together. So I think that's kind of where I'm supposed to go with you guys. If not, then hopefully this will be fruitful for you anyways. All right. First of all, before we dive in, I just want to make sure to set up kind of like a caveat to this, so to speak, is I believe that this idea of getting to a place where you are comfortable in your own skin, getting to a place where you are just thankful for how God has put you together is a lifelong journey. It's not something you conquer in a 10-minute talk, and it's not something you conquer in a 10-week series on gifting or whatever it is. It truly is a lifelong journey for you to kind of get to a place where you learn to be thankful for how God's put you together and not always covet how God's put someone else together. And so this is what I'm going to do. We're going to give you three kind of words that will help. That was kind of weird, scratching my ear. Give you three words that will kind of help us in learning how to get to a place where we're comfortable in our own skins, where we're content with how God has put us together. And so here's the first word. And I've got a little whiteboard behind me, and I'm going to write down the first word here. So you guys with me on that? This is my whiteboard my kids use all the time. That's paint down there. Right there's paint. So the first word I want to give to you is gift. Now, if I was a good artist, I would draw a gift, but I'm not a good artist, so I'm not going to try to do that. So the first thing you gotta embrace, all right? And this is not like some kind of psychological babble here, but you really got to get to a place where you recognize that you are a gift. That you are not defined by your gifting, but you're defined by how God has created you and recreated you in Jesus Christ. So you've got to get to a place where you recognize and own and step into the reality that you are a gift, period. And so I get that in a couple places. So first one is out of Genesis chapter 1, where we see that God made us in the image of him. So we are unique and set apart from all of animals because we are created in the very image of God. We have the stamp of God, his image. We are image bearers of her. We see of him, not her. And we see that in Genesis chapter 1. And then if you fast forward to the Psalms, Psalm 139 kind of puts this more in a poetic language, where he says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, that we are God's handiwork, that we're intricately designed by God. We are not just carbon copies of everybody else. God has uniquely designed you to be you. He has put you together. He has stamped his image upon your life. You are a gift. And so I don't have to do things to earn value or get ascribed value to me, because I've been uniquely put together by God and have the unique image of God stamped in my life, then therefore I have intrinsic value. And hopefully you know the difference between ascribed and intrinsic. And if you don't, then when you stop here in just a minute, you guys can have a discussion about that. But ascribed value is where someone has to give you value by what they say about you and affirm your reality and your existence. Intrinsic value is where it's inherent. It's in you. And we all have intrinsic value because we're uniquely put together and created by God. And then in addition to that, because sin, I don't have time to kind of dive into that, but it's jacked everything up and messed up that whole element. But Christ comes and he is the one that is redeeming us and making us new people. He's kind of renewing that image of God being placed in us. And so we are a gift. So embrace this. You are a gift because you're created by God. We see this in Genesis chapter 1. We see this in Psalm 139. You are a gift because you are redeemed. And so therefore you are being made new through the work of Jesus Christ. So you are a gift. I have value. I have worth. It is intrinsic in me. It is not ascribed to me. So I'm saying it again. For you to get to a place where you're comfortable in your own skin and you are thankful for how God has put you together, you've got to embrace the reality that you are a gift. Now, here's the question. I want you to push pause here in just a minute, and I want you to discuss just briefly here, how does this, all right, hang on a second. Let me think about this. If you do not embrace the reality that you're a gift, then how does this damage the use of your gifting? All right. I'll say that again because that may be a little confusing. So if you do not live into the reality that you are a gift because I'm created by God, I'm redeemed and remade through the work of Jesus Christ. If I don't step into that reality, then how does it damage the use of my gifting? All right. So hopefully you understand that. If you don't understand it, there's really nothing I can do because I can't really come back and talk about that. So you guys discuss that for a couple minutes and then we'll come back and I'll bring in the next word.